Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Absher. I'm the mayor of Marion, and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today to mark what is a major milestone for the community and really for all of Southern Illinois, the groundbreaking of the Marion Star project. My first to the entire Oasis development team. Your vision, your hard work, and commitment to this project has been exceptional. What we are starting here today is literally the result of years of planning, collaboration, and belief in the potential of this project. We are so proud to have you as partners. We also want to thank the Illinois Department of Revenue, and especially not only for being with us here today, but really being there every step of the way for these last 4 years, and for your critical support in bringing this Star Bond project to life. Your role in helping us unlock this opportunity is deeply appreciated and has made this ambitious project possible. Senator Fowler, DCO Director Jost, Representatives Windhorst, Severance, and Jacobs, and former Representative John Bradley, the Williamson County Board of Commissioners, you have all been so supportive and instrumental in this project as well. Thank you all so much for your help. And to my colleague, Mayor Steve Frattini of Heron, thank you so much for your town's friendship to Marion and your personal friendship to me and your stalwart support of the Star Bond project. I am thrilled that the state of Illinois is moving with resolve to see Star Bond projects multiply throughout the state, and Marion is proud to be the guinea pig. You are all an exemplary case study of what is truly required to work together for the benefit of an entire region. And it is an honor to welcome Governor J.B. Pritzker here today. Governor, your leadership and support for economic development across Illinois, especially in downstate communities like ours, are making the most visible impact. We're grateful to have you here with us on this exciting day. This project represents more than just construction. It's more than family-sustaining jobs. It's more than just the tourism that will bring guests from hundreds of miles away to enjoy our beautiful part of the country. And it's more than long-term growth for Southern Illinois. It's a turning point, and today marks the of our moonshot for Southern Illinois. May God bless each of you, our great nation, and may God continue to bless the city of Marion, Illinois. And now it is my distinct privilege to welcome to the podium the governor of the great state of Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker. Governor, welcome.
I want you all to take note that the mayor, open up your folder if you don't mind. Yeah, I want you to take note of how beautiful this is. This is what mine looks like. Like my dog ate my homework. Thank you all for having me here, and good afternoon to everybody. It really is such a pleasure to see so many people so excited about this project. Happy to be joining you all today as we celebrate this major milestone and investment in this community, which is made possible by the pro-small business bipartisan efforts of state and local government. You don't hear that, all those words together very often, but it is true. That is what made this happen. I want to first thank your leadership here in Marion, most especially Mayor Mike Absher, and of course Rodney Cabanis, and so many of you that have been engaged in this for, well, quite some time now. And especially I want to just lift up the hard work and dedication that people have put in to make this ambitious project. The governor, including someone who's not here, my Deputy Governor Andy Manar, who many of the elected officials up here and maybe some of you may know, been instrumental in making Star Bonds a vital, prioritized part of our administration. I also want to thank the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. The Assistant Director is here with us, Cameron Yost. You'll hear from her shortly. Illinois Department of Revenue Director David Harris, dedicated to making sure that we squeeze every dime that we can out of existing revenues that might come into the state and focusing on making sure that we're not raising taxes in order to make things work. Our friends in organized labor are here too, of course. Tate Wright of the Egyptian building trades and so many others. You all are a vital part of this, making this project happen, and of course your work in Springfield has helped to advance the ball. And all my partners in the General Assembly, including especially Senator Dale Fowler. Now, we may hail from two sides of the aisle, but Senator Fowler has been just a terrific partner and advocate for his district in so many ways. And when he wants something, he pounds the table and tells me what it is. And I work real hard to make it happen because he's a great guy and because the things that he's asking for are the things that downstate and particularly Southern Illinois needs. So thank you very much, Senator. Since I became governor just over 6 years ago, development has really been one of my highest priorities. Across the state, we work with communities just like Marion to pursue every available avenue to bring in and grow good jobs and investment. But for, frankly, the 2 decades prior, state government really was not a The state's finances were a mess. It lacked an organized economic development infrastructure. It's shocking, really. When I came into office, I thought there must be at least 5 people somewhere at the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity who are dedicated to this endeavor. So I went searching. It turns out there really weren't any in state government. It hadn't been any for some number of years. That's all changed, and I'm very proud of that fact. Our communities, unfortunately, for the lack of effort by the state government, have suffered because of that. But projects like this one that sat on the back burner and never got off the ground were a reminder of how unacceptable all of that has been. So our sleeves and we got to work. What you see here today is one of the direct results of our efforts to bring to life the economic opportunities that were stifled for far too long. Marion saw an opportunity. You all brought this to life. You saw the opportunity and you put together a bold plan to turn an old shopping center into a world-class entertainment destination, a proposal that creates good jobs, it brings tourism dollars into the area for others that aren't on this property, and it spurs additional investment. And we worked in a bipartisan manner. I want to repeat that an awful lot because I think people think that nobody works across the aisle anywhere, but that's just the kind of thing that brings us all together. We worked in a bipartisan manner to help to bring this vision to a reality in to work for all of you here. The Star Bonds program is meant to empower communities and regions to think creatively about their tourism and economic development efforts. And of course, it's state government's obligation to go help lift those up and make those happen. It allows local government and local communities to leverage their uniqueness and turn that into sustainable long-term growth. As public servants, it's our job to meet that ambition and to connect that vision with additional financing options to meaningfully invest in worthwhile projects. This is the first Star Bond project in Illinois. Now, it started a long time ago. I ran into former Representative John Bradley, and I said to him as we were walking out, that he was here for the original vote, which was 20 years ago, something like that, to make this happen. So I won't review all the challenges between then and now, but the point is that he's been a support for the project, as so many of you had. This project is potentially a model that can play out all over our state. Illinois has so much to offer visitors, whether from just down the road or across the globe. We should be harnessing every ounce of that opportunity to bring people to Illinois and to the retail environment that's created here. Legislation that would expand Star Bonds to municipalities and regions across the state. Here in Marion, not only are y'all and we together creating good jobs and attracting major investment, we're breathing new life and investment into the future of the region. The revenue generated will get invested right back in this community. Our children will benefit from the good work that we've done here, and not just that they get to go on a go-kart track, although that sounds like a lot of fun, but also in making Marion an even more community to live in and an attractive place to come to. So thank you for believing and investing in this exciting next chapter for the people of Marion and for all of Southern Illinois. So with that, I get to hand it over to maybe the man of the hour, I'll say, the partner in this project that's been the lifeblood of it in the revitalization of this community as a result of it, and that's Rodney Cavanis. Rodney.
Thank you. It's nice to be here with everyone today. I'm kind of a nervous speaker, and as I always seem to follow or go before Mayor Absher, who's probably one of the best speakers I've ever heard. So, and now I get to follow the governor of the state of Illinois, so no pressure. Can't get a break. Governor Pritzker, we have to thank you and your team for the unwavering support that when your team found out about this, and you did everything we know in your power to keep it from stalling and help resurrect this, and I know it wouldn't happen without your unwavering support, so we're very grateful. So today we are celebrating a monumental occasion, the groundbreaking and implementation of Illinois' first and only district, which we affectionately call Thrillville. This will be a district made up of designed to attract people from all over the country to our state, and specifically to Southern Illinois. To do that, we have to be extraordinary. And extraordinary, I promise you, is exactly what we will be. We will offer unparalleled shopping, experiential retail. We'll offer unique, high quality, and plentiful dining options. We'll become the go-to destination for sports tournament directors all over the United States and offer entertainment and atmosphere that simply won't be able to be found anywhere else. This is soon to be the largest, where you're standing right now, is soon to be the largest power sports in the world. And will house, just behind me, almost 90,000 square foot family entertainment center, as well as an extra 35,000 square feet of event space. A little nervous about having the family entertainment center so close to all of our staff. They like to have a good time and don't know how that's going to work out. I would like to also extend a special thank you to Director Harris, which is the director of the Illinois Department of Revenue. You know, growing up, I never dreamed that I would have such a passion for the Illinois Department of Revenue. But here we are, and his help, as Mayor Absher said, has been instrumental in our success. No one had a manual on how to operate and build a Star Bond district, but his team with Jim Nicholson and others rolled up their sleeves and helped guide us to make this happen. And truly, Director, your continued support is a cornerstone of our success. So thank you very much for that. So we also owe a debt of gratitude to the Egyptian Building and Construction Trade Council. This represents the union trades in our region. Their partnership ensures that the construction of this district will happen on time and within budget, with a quality that rivals anywhere in the country. A special thank you to Kate Wright and Jay Elders and Jerry Womack. If I could name people for hours that are a part of our success. They sat down with us in the beginning, and there's a lot of things happening here, and workforce was certainly a concern. They eased our concerns, and they've been nothing but exemplary since we started, so thank you. So let me tell you a little bit why they're so important. The first project utilizes only 85 acres construction-wise of this district's almost 5 and encompasses many construction components that will be happening simultaneously, and represents an investment of well over $100 million coming right back here to Southern Illinois. So these projects will create hundreds of jobs immediately and thousands of jobs over the next 5 years. This undertaking is a testament to our confidence in the future success of this district and underscores the importance of and why we're so thankful to have the Egyptian trades helping us out. The success of this district is possible only through the unprecedented collaboration that has happened here in Southern Illinois. From the governor's office to the state departments, from the city of Marion to Williamson County, so many other municipalities and organizations throughout the region that have pledged their support that has been remarkable and the most amazing unity of purpose I've ever seen in my life. We're so thankful. So there's one more thing that is crucial to our success. Well, there's actually probably quite a few more things that are crucial to our success, but I'm going to talk to you about one of them, and that is a willingness for CEOs from across the country to locate their existing or expanding businesses here in Illinois. The best example of this commitment that I can give to you is right here with us today on stage. Jake Ferrant is the CEO of Kansas-based Mammoth Sports Construction and Mammoth Fieldhouse Investments. His companies have not only helped us a state-of-the-art, multi-use sports complex to fuel this district, he has also chosen this location for the first of 11 Mammoth Fieldhouses being built around the country. So if you're wondering what a Mammoth Fieldhouse is, I'm going to give it a shot. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Jake, but picture a Topgolf-like facility, multi-level driving range, now a extreme pickleball court system that is unique, like a chicken and pig, and picture a 18-hole professional golf putting course. Now take the best restaurant in America that's serving the best food that you can eat and throw it in the middle of all that, and that's Mammoth Fieldhouse. Mammoth Fieldhouse is going to be located right outside the mall and on the Mammoth Fieldhouse property. So before I ask Jake to come up and talk about why he chose to come to Marion, I would just like to say that we are so grateful to everyone that was a part of this project and helped make this happen that it's absolutely immeasurable. So thank you very much. Thank you. So help me welcome Jake.
Rodney didn't leave me anything to talk about, but I will say why the cameras are rolling. I have no idea about with those other business names. I've never heard of them. I'm Jake Ferrant, and I'm a president of a family-owned, 100% family-owned sports construction company. Last year, we built sports parks and sports fields in 174 communities across the United States. So we see a little bit of everything. And this guy called me 9:45 at night, 2.5 years ago. I heard you build good sports facilities. And I said, yes, I do, sir. And he said, do you have any time that you could talk to about building a sports facility in Marion, Illinois? I said, sure, I can look at my calendar. And he said, well, how about tomorrow at 7 a.m. I pick you up? I said, okay. And we spent the rest of the week together with his team, and we went all around the country. We took him to what we thought was the best sports facilities in the country. And I've never been on a tour with somebody who, one, didn't take notes, and two, he never eats, and then three, nothing was ever good enough for him. So we thought we had our hands full, and what you probably have seen out here to this side of the building is we are building what we think is the most unique and one of the best sports facilities in all of the United States. We're happy to put our stamp behind that. But what sports facilities do is they're an economic driver and they drive people. So it's a win-win for the local community in Southern Illinois. And then also you guys are going to have millions of visitors here from places you never thought would visit here, like my family from Kansas. So it's very important when you're trying to decide what to build, and then it's very important for our Fieldhouse projects to make sure they go in the right communities. Our Fieldhouse is just an extension of what we've learned. It's a place where passion and community are going to collide. We're highlighting some of the best sports in the world. This sport called pickleball is the only one today that's introduced in elementary schools and retirement homes the same day. Golf concept, there's going to be a baseball and soccer concept, there's a basketball concept. Bill Crooks, who's with us here today, is on the Mount Rushmore of food in Kansas City. Kansas City does have good food, Governor, if you've ever been there, but we will be bringing that to Southern Illinois. And when I met with Rodney about potentially bringing it here, I said, look, we have 10 others that we need to Thrillville shirts or Oasis shirts. Tone is. He said, no, I think, look, Illinois, I don't know. It's not Florida, it's not Texas. We have all these other locations to go to. And 3 months, him and his team were able to show me something that you can't quantify, you can't look on a spreadsheet, although the data is impressive, Rodney, of the traffic here, but it's the people. And when we met the people here, starting with Mayor Asher and Cody and Shad, we started to realize, like, this place is different. And I remember when we were breaking ground over there, and I shared with Rodney, I said, there's not many places that I feel like I could raise my family other than Meriden, Kansas. But I could raise my family right here, and to me, that's the biggest compliment I could ever give. So we're excited to bring Mammoth Fieldhouse here. The sports park is going to be second to none, and then everything that Thrillville is going to be is something, and this is coming from somebody who works from coast to coast. There will be nothing like it in the entire country. Congratulations, Marion, and congratulations, Southern Illinois.
What a beautiful day in Southern Illinois, huh? Isn't it great to be a part of it? And Governor, thank you for the kind words, and also thank you for the investments that you're making in Southern Illinois. And thank you for always being willing to listen and to have your door open up. I know we got a lot more work to do, and looking forward to that as long as it's here in Southern Illinois, right? Thank you so much. And our friends at DCO and Department of Revenue, thank you for all your work that you do. I could not be more proud to stand here and celebrate this major milestone with all of you. This project is much more than development for Marion. It's a win for all of Southern Illinois. And the best part, with all the development and all the investment that we are witnessing right here, it's still just the beginning, as Rodney alluded to. Yes, the very first Starbuck project ever launched in the state of Illinois, and it's happening right here in Marion, Illinois. And you know what that does? It speaks volumes about the determination, the vision, and the passion for this community of Southern Illinois. Quality jobs, revitalized communities all across. With our rich natural resources, strong agricultural base, emerging industries, and dedicated workforce, Southern Illinois is well positioned for long-term economic development. Strategic investments in infrastructure, small businesses, education, and innovation can unlock the region's full potential and ensure inclusive prosperity for future generations to come. With 20 state parks in my Senate District area, the Shawnee National Forest, and the Shawnee Wine Trail, just to mention a few. And I must add, this is the 30th anniversary, this year's the 30th anniversary of the Shawnee Wine Trail. Isn't that pretty cool? 20 some odd wineries. But what a wonderful compliment this is with all we have to offer here in beautiful Southern Illinois, creating an even larger land for recreation and community activity. And it proves, yes, I will say it proves what we have always known. Southern Illinois is worth investing in. This project creates hundreds of 1,000 jobs, as I mentioned. I'm confident it will create housing development opportunities throughout the Southern Illinois region as well. It's encouraging to be working with some more companies in the country that have interest in Southern Illinois. As you can see, Southern Illinois is on the radar. Thank you to our including making our roads and bridges. Thank you, and congratulations to each and every one. Now it is my privilege to welcome to the podium the Director of the Illinois Department of Revenue, Mr. David Harris.
Senator, thank you very much. Wow, I'm absolutely delighted to be here today with the Governor and Mayor Absher and his team, the city officials, other state officials, to participate in the groundbreaking of the STAR project. Now I have to tell you, on my way down here, driving down, I noticed that we have road construction down here just like road construction up north. And road construction is part of economic development as well. So it really is an adjunct to what's being happened. You know, the way the state statute was written, the Department of Revenue, and I was complimented by remarks for the Department of Revenue made earlier, but the Department of Revenue was the lead agency for the STAR Bonds project. And let me tell you that since the project was first proposed, now the language, as the Governor mentioned, has been on the books since 2010, 2011, but this project was first proposed in 2021. And since that time, the city has checked every box that was necessary to be checked to comply with the statute. It met all the timelines, which was a compliment to everything that they did to make this happen. So, hats off to them. Now, while the Department of Revenue was the agency that was primarily responsible for the sign-off of all this, the Governor and his team immediately realized the economic potential that could flow from a project like this. The Governor made reference to Deputy Governor Andy Menard, who we kept in close loop, and he and the Governor ensured that I, as the Department Director, did everything that we could to make sure that this day came. I'm really happy that it did. It would not have happened without the Governor's office, the City of Marion, and quite frankly, other department officials that all participated. Now, it's my responsibility at the state level to keep track of all the tax dollars that come in and to support projects like this. And I have to tell you, it is a positive start. To state briefly, without going into lots of detail, but to state briefly, the way this works is that a base year was chosen for tax revenues. That base year was 2019. There are no new taxes involved. I say that again, there are no new taxes involved, despite what you may have heard about this. What happens is all the tax dollars that come in under the normal tax structure flow where they normally wouldn't have flown flowed up to that 2019 level. So the city and the other taxing bodies are going to get what they would have gotten. Monies that come in from projects from sales tax and revenue bonds above the 2019 level are what's called the increment. And the receipts that are applied to the increment are what go to pay back the bonds. So the bonds could be floated safely with a revenue stream to support them and no new taxes involved. Now, the first distribution of the increment was in April of 2024, last year. And I'm pleased to tell you that as of now, only 1 year past, $2.89 million, almost $3 million, has been distributed under the Star Bond project. Certainly enough to keep that project going and to pay those bonds. So they are off to a really very solid start. And the potential for even more positive tax revenues will grow as the many elements of this project are developed. Now let me, if I can, just step aside for 1 second to piggyback on what you said. My son, like me, is a very good athlete. As a matter of fact, he was fortunate enough to play on the U.S. national men's soccer team, the U-15. I cannot tell you how many places I've been to in the United States, Florida, Texas, Arizona, going to soccer matches and soccer tournaments. And I'm here to say, if you've ever been to one, I'm sure your children have traveled, you know how many hotel rooms are filled up by 20 or 30 soccer teams coming in, or restaurants that get filled up, or the tax dollars that get spent in the area when you have a facility like what's being talked about here that could be world-class to bring those folks in to play right here. So this Star Bond project becomes a magnet attracting folks from throughout Southern Illinois, throughout the surrounding area, and quite frankly, from around the nation. Again, I'm really glad to be here at this groundbreaking, at this exciting endeavor. It's really been a hard road to get here, but we did it with great cooperation from the governor, the mayor, all the way down. It's going to be great. My hat's off to everyone who participated. And with that, I'll turn the microphone over to Tamara Joseph, who is the Deputy Director of the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
Thank you, Director Harris, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cameron Yost, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, or DCEO, and I'm truly so thrilled to be here in Marion today to celebrate this Star Bond project, which, as you have heard a couple times, is the first in Illinois. From investing in localities to attracting new businesses, to spurring tourism in order to show the world what Illinois has to offer, it's DCEO's mission to support economic development in communities all across the state. Today's groundbreaking is a prime example of that. This major retail, entertainment, and hospitality development will bring new jobs, businesses, and visitors, not only to Marion, but to the entire Southern Illinois region. None of this work would be possible without intentional and thoughtful policy and leadership. Most importantly, none of this would be possible without collaboration. That is what makes days like today so pivotal in our effort to bolster our state's local economies. Under Governor Pritzker's leadership, we have seen economic momentum across Illinois continue to build. And at DCEO, we are committed to supporting those efforts and ensuring Illinois remains the best place to live, work, and do business. And with that, it's my pleasure to turn it back to Mayor Absher.
Somebody remind me not to wear a black suit the next time we're in a hot building. I'm sure all of you are ready to get over with. I just want to share one final thought with you before we break ground. 7 years ago, I raised my hand and offered to run for this office that I so treasure and so have enjoyed. But one of the planks of that platform was, if you guys were here locally, you might remember this mall had just failed. And I ran that part of my platform was that I didn't want it to become a black hole in our economy. I was worried that it would literally, you know what a black hole is, right? It sucks all the light out to never return. I was worried about Dillard's. I was worried about Target. I was worried about all the other businesses around here that I thought could fail if something wasn't done. So really, if I'm being honest with you, I really just thought of, when I proposed that, it was more about just getting back what we lost. It would have been hard for me to imagine, and impossible without the help of so many people already named, to see not just the mall have a repurpose, but then another 85 acres surrounding it, and a potential another 114 beyond that are eligible over the next couple of decades to prosper. I call today these kinds of moments Polaroid moments. Now, for those of you that are much younger than the average age, you won't know what Polaroids are, because we've moved digitally nowadays. But these are the kind of instant pictures that you develop, these instant moments in time. And those are the ones that I tuck back. And I think I'll remember when I look back on this time in office. And so I'm inviting you to be a part of us with this today, this ceremony, and us breaking the ground, that you can say you were there on the day that Southern Illinois changed for the good. So thank you all again for being here. Are you ready to break some ground? All right.
It's cut. It's very hard for the state to replace it because the numbers are just huge. But we understand that when we're talking about mental health, how important that is. So we have state programs, as you know, that are addressing mental health among our young people. The budget is tight like it is everywhere else in the country, but I can guarantee you this is top of mind for all of us, particularly the General Assembly over the next couple of weeks while we work hard to get a balanced budget passed.
Anyone else?
Governor, at your State of the State address, you talked about concerns with the incoming administration. How have you, I mean, we've heard about cuts. Where do you think that stands now? Where do you think your warning stands? Are you still concerned towards that?
Yes. Are you talking about the budget cuts, or are you talking about the other challenges?
The challenges, the references you made to the support period.
Yeah, I think the important thing maybe to revisit at this moment is just the question of the constitutional rights that are being violated in some cases and challenged in other cases. There's a case before the Supreme Court today. I wasn't able to listen to it while we were driving, but I got a text from my wife who was listening to it that this is the case on birthright citizenship. And the idea that if you're born in the United States, you're a U.S. citizen automatically, and that's being challenged. I think about my own family. My family emigrated here a long time ago. They were refugees. They would have been killed if they had stayed in Ukraine. The Russians were killing Jews in Ukraine at the time. And this country welcomed my family. We had nothing. They'd been disallowed and told that they were going to, their children would be U.S. citizens. I'm not sure what would have happened to my family. So I think a lot about that, and fast forward to today about what it means to all of us to have citizenship and to offer citizenship to people who are born on U.S. soil. And so I'm hopeful that the Supreme Court will do the right thing and uphold what has been already upheld by the Supreme Court many years ago, which is birthright citizenship, but it is back as an issue because of the current administration. I give that as an example of what is essentially a constitutional provision that is being challenged. It's in the Constitution, to be clear. This isn't something that's case law. Birthright citizenship, but there's a question about some words around it and what they meant and so on. Yes, constitutional rights are being challenged every day by the administration, and I'm hopeful that that'll settle down and get back to, I don't know what the right words are, but maybe business as usual, less chaos, less confusion, and more focusing on everybody doing better across the country for themselves. People who are, I'm sure that the senator or the mayor can add to what I'm about to say, and I'll just try to be brief, which is, look, for way too many years there's been disinvestment from Southern Illinois. And I know there are political divides, but when you become an elected official, after the election is over, you represent all the people that are, in my case, in the state, Democrats and Republicans, whether a county voted for me or didn't vote for me. And I really have taken it as a mission, and I hope that Senator Fowler will back me up when I say this, but I've taken it as a mission that, we got to stop disinvesting and instead invest in Southern Illinois. And we've done that with the infrastructure bill, we've done that with Starbond, we've done that with the Bluff Casino, we've invested in community colleges across the Southern Illinois and as well as across the whole state. Southern Illinois University, I think the list could go on, but we really have made major investments. This is an example of economic growth opportunity that will bring people in from all over the region, maybe all over the world too. And that means not just that dollars will get spent in this building and in this complex, but also that people will, there'll be a hotel, they'll stay, they'll go to a restaurant that's not right here. They'll maybe stay a couple extra days and go to the wine trail, and lots of other things that will happen. So this, to me, is just one example, but a really good example of how we all as Illinoisans ought to be
cheering on new economic investments that are being made and great developers and investors that are willing to take a chance, and the state and the city being willing to I guess I'd say, catalyze that investment.
One other question regarding the developments. Do any of you have an estimate on about how many total jobs the Star Bond projects are going to bring to Marion?
Anybody know what the jobs are? 2,300 jobs over 5 years is what I just heard. But I would argue that may or may not include all of the surrounding. When you get economic uplift, it has a kind of a ripple effect around the region. So I'm not sure that includes all of that potential. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Georgia Del Garza. I'm Australia. I was born and raised here in Southern Illinois. Also, we're a national newspaper. I was raised in the forest. My father was given Omega Dailies Irish aid in his family for being, at that time, the greatest outdoorsman of the Midwest. So, of course, my love and my protection question is, how are we going to protect the forest here that we all love so much in these times of deforestation?
Yeah. I actually want to ask, if you don't mind, Senator Fowler, because she's been very much involved in us not only preserving and conserving our lands, but our state parks and all the other natural beauty of Southern Illinois. And I feel mind talking about that.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Yes, as I mentioned in my speech, just in my Senate district area, I have 20 Illinois Department of Natural Resource, state parks, plus obviously the incredible Shawnee National Forest. I have an initiative called Southern Illinois Treasures where we showcase. I also work very closely with Director Natalie Costa-Finney of Illinois Department of Natural Resources. Sustaining and making improvements to our state parks is paramount. It's paramount to her. We're lucky that we have a local girl that lives here in Southern Illinois, from here in Southern Illinois, and has a passion for Southern Illinois. But yes, we have to continue to protect those, and we do that by continuing to do everything we can to keep them clean, making the improvements they need, keep them safe. And I really want to compliment our law enforcement, our EMS personnel that are out there each and every day, especially the Shawnee National Forest. I just recently had a meeting with Polk County EMS and Fire Department, the things that they witness and go through. So even something, because obviously tourism is a huge economic driver in Southern Illinois, and we want to capitalize on that, which is exactly what this project will help do as well.
We'll take one more if anyone else.
I want to highlight, sorry, you mentioned Natalie Costa-Finney, and she's not here, but she's the Director of the Department of Natural Resources of Southern Illinois, doing an unbelievably great job at DNR, I just want to say. And the other great Southern Illinois, Jerry Costello II, who's running the Department of Agriculture. And I just wanted to say their names and also let you know they're just outstanding. We've got a couple outstanding directors here, but you've produced two really great people who think every day about what's best for Southern Illinois, not just for the rest of the state too.
One more if anyone